Okay, sorry. Good evening, everybody. I was having some technical issues, but we're back.
Usually I'm the one with technical issues. I'm like,
No, my computer was spinning. I was like, what is going on? Why can't I pull anything up? Listen, welcome one, welcome all. We are here. It is a marvelous Monday, and we are here to recap the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Part 1, Reunion, Episode 18, Uncensored. Okay? Auntie Diva, good evening. How you doing?
how you doing? Okay. Holla at the Uncensored.
Listen, the episode was everything. You know,
Yes,
Diva, I
it
had
was.
said earlier when we had talked on the phone, I said normally, you know, the shows, they'll put out a teaser for the reunion, and most times it's not as banging as they, you know, make the teaser to be. Let me tell y'all something. This reunion trailer was nothing near compared to what actually went down on Reunion Part 1, okay? And they normally bring us in really slow in the part. Oh no, Diva. We started off with shots firing left and right, okay, man?
What? Child!
Oh my God.
Brought it down, okay?
Oh my God. Shook the house, okay?
Shook the house.
the room. I was like, oh my God. This is a reunion, okay? This is accountability. Look, you know what it looks like, you know, for the ladies to show up, speak what happened, you know, and especially real accountability on Wendy's standpoint. I'm just gonna give Wendy even just showing up, Diva. She showed up, okay? And
No,
that's
I'll give her a lot of credit for that. No, listen, no, roll the tape back. Her and Eddie showed up. When Robin was on that show, we couldn't get Juan to show up. And they never had nothing like that deep going on as this with Wendy and what's his name? Eddie. They never had nothing this crazy.
No.
Yo, Eddie was there holding his boo up, kissing her. No, he showed up. And I'm giving them mad credit for showing up. Because people have skipped the reunion for less. Yes. So yes, I give them a whole lot of credit for showing up. I guess I do. Yes, I do.
They did their thing. It was an amazing show. I totally enjoyed it from the beginning, literally to the end. My face and eyes was glued to the television screen, okay? They did that. Well, listen, y'all, excuse me. We are live on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray-Haired Diva and Royaire's World, excuse me. So make sure you hit that like button on both channels, Chronicles of the Gray-Haired Diva and Royaire's World. Make sure if you're not a subscriber to our channels, make sure you hit that subscribe button and your notification bell on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. And do us one more favor tonight. If you can hit that like button for us, hit that share button, share our live and let the people know that we are live and recapping the latest episode of the Real Housewives Potomac Reunion Part 1. All righty. Well, listen, today, Auntie, I do not have a street news, but we got so much to talk about with the reunion that is perfectly fine with me unless you got something.
No, we're good. We could go right into, the reunion.
Well, let's jump into this, okay? So, as I said, we are recapping Part 1, the reunion, Uncensored. We are a Season 10, Episode 18. So, we, dropped filming, okay? The season wrapped. Everything seemed like it was already hunky-dory for the season to drop and the reunion to come. Well, unfortunately, on October 9th of 2025, circulating the internets was Wendy OSEFO and Eddie OSEFO mugshots, literally flying everywhere around the world, across social media, across the worldwide internet on Beyonce's timeline, okay? I said, not Beyonce's timeline internet, is Wendy OSEFO and Eddie OSEFO being charged with counts of fraud, okay? It was a shocker, Diva. It was laid the people out. Everybody was like, not Wendy. not the lady with 4 degrees, okay, and her husband that's an attorney, not them, okay. Well, Bravo cameras picked up about a week later. You know, Diva, I love how shady Bravo is.
Shady.
The scene right outside the front door of the house, okay? Here at Wendy and Eddie's home. They took us on the inside and gave us a tour of all the renovated space.
Shady. 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 Low-key shady. Shady.
I'm not gonna put all of
it. The renovation is gorgeous.
Fabulous, Diva. I love those black pictures that was hanging on that wall. Everything gorgeous. I mean, it was so beautiful. Okay.
Absolutely.
So this is about a week after Wendy and Eddie have been arrested. Wendy and Eddie come down into the living room area in disbelief of, you know, literally everything that has happened within the last week. You know, them being arrested, you know, them having these charges filed against them, just all of this stuff is happening. Wendy shares how she has, you know, she feels like she's been in a nightmare and she needs to eat, but she's not hungry. You know, she's not really sleeping. She just can't believe that, you know, everything that they have gone through has ended them up here in this place. And she never thought in a million years that this would happen to her based off of everything that they have been going through and been dealing with since. Eddie, he said that, you know, he just remembers sitting in the holding cell while Wendy was on the phone calling her sister saying, I need you to pick up the kids because I'm in jail, okay? The kids need to stay with you for the night. You know, and she talked to Cameron as well. Cameron asked, Mommy, where are you? She said, you're going to stay with Auntie tonight, and I'm going to come and pick you up tomorrow. And she said she was so fearful because she never thought, you know, that she didn't know whether or not she was going to be able to pick up Cameron and the kids tomorrow. She just never thought that they would be in this situation. You know, let's see. Wendy also asks Eddie, you know, do you think this is going to change our marriage? What do you think? How do you think this is going to affect us? You know, do you think there's going to be a different outcome as how we roll? You know, she said, because she's not the same person. She is not who she was prior to all of this happening. She's no longer that person. And she's curious of how this is going to work now that they are in these legal situation with their kids. She feels bad for the kids because they didn't deserve this. You know, she does share with us also in this scene, Diva, that unfortunately Cameron did not find out, but their eldest son did find out about it, unfortunately, on the internet. He opened up his phone and seen everything and all the allegations once he was staying with his aunt. So this also said to me, Diva, obviously Wendy doesn't allow her children to stay, you know, with the aunt and the mother often, because that was the red flag to him that his parents was not coming to pick him up. Something was off. He looked at his phone. He seen it. The next day, Wendy and Eddie went to pick him up. You know, we'll talk about that because that was a little later on in the episode that they talked about that. But, you know, Eddie did say that, you know, with God, they're going to get through this. They've been together for 15 years and they're going to continue to make it through this as long as they are together and fighting. So, Diva, that was the opening scene with Eddie and Wendy, everything that happened with them since the arrest. Like I said, that was a week after their mug shots and being arrested and all of that. Anything on that?
Woo!
What an opening.
I'm getting feedback, Roy. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not getting it now. They kicked off this reunion with a bang. With a bang. Hands down, production, Bravo, the Real Housewives of Potomac crew, they did the darn thing. Because them going to Wendy's house, and you know what? I will continue to say this. She don't look like what she going through. Because, honey, when they came to that house, Eddie had a fresh haircut, lined up to the gods, okay? Wendy face was beat, okay? She made sure, because they talked about that wig in the mugshot, but baby, when they came to that house, that wig was together, it was slaying, and she had on these nice silk pajamas or whatever, talking about, I just can't eat. I'm not the same, and I won't ever be the same. Well, you shouldn't be the same after you got a mugshot and you got a cop that had to stay the night in the jail. My heart is breaking for these two. Listen, we all fall short. We all make mistakes. To God be the glory, and I thank God every day that I never made a mistake that landed me in jail. But have I made mistakes? Absolutely 100%. But to God be the glory, I never made no mistake that got me in handcuffs. So this scene, when Eddie shedded a tear, that's when I knew. Yeah, you know what? They joked about this, and I'm no longer seeing this as a joke, because when Eddie shed a tear, it was heart-wrenching to me. And the reason why it was heart-wrenching to me is because these two knew about it before we did, of course, that they was in trouble and this thing was being investigated. That's why she said she never thought that it would come to this situation where they would be in handcuffs. When she said Eddie was like, the cops are downstairs, but we're going to get to that, it's just so sad to me. So I feel like that, they did something, and back in my day, they would say, you wrote a check that your butt couldn't cash. Mm-hmm. They did a crime allegedly that they wasn't prepared for. Yeah. This is beyond sad to me. It's dreadful, and it's really dreadful because what they don't understand. Let me tell you something that I never forget, Royaire. No matter where I go, how much money I get, I or whatever the case may be, I will always understand that at the end of the day, I'm a Black person. And I think that Wendy rose up to a certain level. She forgot who she is. And what I mean by that is you always got to look in the mirror, remind yourself that I'm that Black girl. And I can't do like they do. They can go out here acting a fool and all will be well for them. I go out there acting a fool and all will not be well for me. Like I said, Luann, what's her name? She slapped the whole cop. She slapped the cop. You let me tell you what Black girls, if she would have slapped the cop, she would have had a funeral.
And that's the truth.
So I think Wendy and they just got themselves in a pickle. They backed themselves up against a wall. And I am feeling bad for them.
Yeah.
And that thing broke my heart.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, Diva. I mean, I feel totally bad for them. I think even from the beginning, I've always kind of felt a sense of extra sympathy with them because I do like Eddie and Wendy. And number two, because I know they have young children. That was the biggest thing for me. Like you said, seeing Eddie cry in this moment, you can tell that he's really passionate about this. Like he really is at a loss of a moment. I think also it seemed like, especially once he brought up, Wendy's sister and things, it seems like that he knows that at least Wendy has a support system to back up to. Eddie really doesn't have that support system, especially with him not really talking to his mom. I know recently his siblings have kind of come along the way, but now with this going on and them already not liking Wendy, I can imagine how this has kind of maybe separated them even more. But I appreciate the vulnerability and the willingness that Wendy and Eddie gave to even come on camera, because I don't know if I could have done it, Diva. I mean, to show back up to the house, where I was arrested. It wasn't like they was out somewhere. They were in the privacy of their home and got arrested. And we'll kind of talk about the details of exactly how it happened in just a moment. But that opening scene, I mean, this is reality TV. This is a reunion. This is what accountability looks like. When something happens in your life, you got to show up and say something about it if you're going to be displaying your life on reality TV. And this is how you do it.
Yeah, I agree. Right. So in real time, for all jokes aside, prayers for Wendy and Eddie, because 16 counts is whew. Cheers to them.
Alrighty then. Cheers to the girls' trip.
Oh God.
Hilarious. Okay. So, we begin our reunion. Of course, Giselle is one of the first to arrive. Ashley comes in next. We see that Ashley has sharing a room next door with Karen. So her and Karen will be next door to each other. So she didn't realize that Karen will be showing up to the reunion today. We have Angel and Kay getting their makeup done and getting ready. Andy arrives on set, of course, first, waiting for the ladies to come out. We have Giselle to follow, which then Giselle finds out that she'll be sitting next to Wendy. And so she wanted some instructions. Well, Andy, do I hold her hand? Do I rub her back? What do I need to do? Andy said, you do whatever you feel like you need to do, okay? You do you, be you. It's all good. Ashley comes out next, follows with Stacey, Angel, Kay, then Tia, and then, of course, the grand finale, that everybody has been waiting on. I don't know if these ladies have really seen her. I know that she's only really close with Stacey, so I'm not sure, where she was with the other ladies, but everybody was waiting for her to come out. Miss Wendy OSEFO, okay? And she came out with the support of her husband, a kiss right before she walked out as he walked her through, and she came out with confidence in her red. She was glowing and she looked fabulous, Diva. I mean, I was just like, wow, for somebody that has 16 counts on them, this is how you show up, okay? This is how you show up and be fabulous and look good. Anything on that opening before I move on?
The opening was everything. Like I think Katrina said in the chat, did you see Giselle's face when she found out she was in first chair? Yeah. I guess they don't learn. I guess they don't learn it till they get there. But honey, she was like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Hold her hand, whatever. Yeah, Wendy was flying above, okay?
Oh, baby, okay.
So when she found out that, she was just like, oh, okay. And she, again, we did a whole look show, but again, even seeing her look, fabulous for her.
Fabulous.
Okay, head to toe. Fabulous.
Head to toe.
Ashley came out looking a hot mess, like we said. She, and for Ashley to even be that high up on the couch, that tells you that Kiara and Angel, they really was below the bar, because Ashley don't even have a high bar to surpass, right? So if you on the couch behind Ashley, you did a bad job, okay? So there was Ashley, and then it was Kay, right? I think, and then it was Angel. Yeah, so y'all did the worst job possible, okay? So then, and then we had Tia on the other side. Yeah, Tia did look the worst.
Angel looked the worst. Tia did not look the worst.
Well, put them both in the same bucket. I mean, I made it some models. Like, they both look bad, but Tia and Angel looked like she was literally stuffed in her dress. Like they told her lay on the bed and they was tucking and pulling to get her in that outfit. Tia did look uncomfortable. Tia, I told y'all was beating me up the whole season. I told y'all Tia wasn't giving us nothing. And she sat on the couch and she gave us nothing on the reunion, okay? But anyway, we'll get to that. But I loved, and then when Wendy came out, honey, feathers and all, they should have played. And I think, who was it said? Stacey said she's giving us Diana Ross. They should have played some Diana Ross music, because she was giving us Diana. She was giving us Fabulous. She was giving us I'm Here. She was giving us I'm Showing Up, even though I got handcuffed and got a whole mugshot out there. I'm here. That's what Wendy gave us, okay?
Was giving standing on business, okay?
Yeah, standing on business. And honey, and Stacey, come on, I'm 50, go. I'm coming out. Come on.
Yes, I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
Yeah. That's for her. And Stacey, she came out there and took her first share. Like, yeah, this is where I belong. Check that. Check that.
Yes. Well, let's jump on into this. So, Andy opens up the night, welcoming the ladies to, season 10 of the reunion. Their theme is the equestrian. They had a lot of pony themed things this year during the season. So they said, let's follow through and have an equestrian themed set. So that was the set. And you can kind of go look at that if you've watched the show, or you can kind of check out the pictures and tell. So Andy starts off asking the OGs, Giselle and Ashley, they've been on the show since season 10. How do they feel? The group started off as a mom group with Giselle, Karen, and Charisse. But did they know the success that the group was going to bring? Giselle stated that, at the beginning, she was unsure of exactly how, the show was going to go. But once she met Ashley, she knew that they had something special. And so now here they are, 10 seasons later, continuing the fun and letting things roll. Andy wanted to know how the OGs felt without Karen. Ashley said that it was very difficult to film the show because Karen is a lot of the foundation. She plays a major part in the show. So it was different not having her a part this season. And then Giselle said it was very awkward. They had to put in more work, and she loves arguing and going back and forth with Karen. So that was, just an adjustment for her, having to kind of find something else to do, if you may, because she's so used to that supportive role of Karen. And kind of Diva, I never really thought about that, how center focused Karen was of the group. I know we talk about the grind and all, but you just never think about a show without that person that we all know. And so it was different seeing the shift in the dynamic of the group this year. Andy does share that Karen will be joining us later. Tia and Angel are the newbies. Angel came into this group wanting to make friends, but her expectations were not met. Tia felt that her group, expectations went well. She was glad to be a part of the group, and it was great for her. Stacey felt that she had a rough season, but she's growing and grown with friendship with Wendy. So, things are great with her and Wendy. It was a rough season, which I would agree. She did have a very rough season. It started off rough and it ended rough. So
in the reunion made it rougher. She's still straight getting chin checked.
Chin check, okay. Kay is still boring along with her friend Angel. That's all I had to say with that. So Andy shares Wendy has been on the show since 2020, and that is half the time, of the show's benchmark. And how does she feel? Wendy feels that she has evolved into being more secure in herself and not caring what others think about her. When she first started off, she had just had Cameron. She was a brand new mom again. She was trying to find herself. And so she has really solidified herself and who she is and her confidence. And she doesn't need to depend on anybody else to be the strong, independent woman that she knows that she is. And I was like, you better come on, Wendy. Let the people know, girl. Okay? You better show up. So, let's see. Andy goes into wanting to know how Wendy feels about the allegations, since everything came out on October 9th. She's facing 16 charges of fraud and felony charges. And so Andy kind of wanted to know where Wendy was sitting with all of this, what she could share with us, being that this is still an ongoing investigation. So Wendy does share that this is still an ongoing investigation. They have had a few court appearances, and she is, trying her very best to fight with her family, but it is a rough time, and she knows that with God, she's going to make it through this. She did share that she shielded Cameron from this, so Cameron did not know what was going on. But unfortunately, Carter, it was a little bit difficult for them to balance that out. Wendy does share that the kids were not home when they got arrested. So thanks be unto God for that, Diva, because I know we were kind of talking about whether or not the kids were home during that time and how all of that went down. So it was detailed that the kids were not home. Wendy was taking a nap, when Eddie came in there and said, hey, the police is at the door. we about to go to jail pretty much. So, you know, she said she called her mom and her sister to pick up the kids. So I'm assuming, Diva, the kids maybe were at school or at some kind of practice or something, probably. Okay. The kids were at school. And so, you know, the sister came and picked up the kids. Carter saw everything on his phone. You know, he was, you know, a little unfamiliar with a little unfamiliar with his mom and dad not picking him up and having to stay with his aunt's house. So he went on his phone, and that's how he found out about everything that was going on. The next day, Wendy and Eddie went to pick him up from school. They tried to act like everything was okay. You know, he asked where were they and what happened. And of course, you know, Wendy made a promise to her kids that she would never lie to her children. And so she was transparent and honest about what happened. She got in the back of the car with Carter in Eddie's car, and they cried together, you know, and she did share, you know, I guess the details of things that happened. Giselle said, is that why your wig was wigging the way it was? Because you were napping? And so Wendy said, you know, that's her professor wig. She don't know what happened, but it is what it is. Wendy said that she was unsure, you know, about the wig situation, but the reason that she was smiling in the mug shot was because the individual that was taking the mug shot, seeing that she was upset, she was crying, this was not a good experience. And so he was just trying to make it a little bit of a lighthearted experience for her. So he played with her, you know, give me a smile, give me another pose, you know, just trying to make her feel a little bit better and more comfortable in the situation. Giselle asked if any of them had Happy Eddie. She said no, she did not have Happy Eddie, and Eddie didn't at the moment, but when he got home, it was a different story. Okay. And then Stacey asked, did she spend the night in jail? Wendy said she did spend the night. It was scary. She was in the cell with other people. She did not use the bathroom, but there was a toilet in there for them to use. And Wendy was not okay. She's terrified, but she will be okay. So, you know, Diva, all of this opening portion of the first part of the reunion, I love the way that Wendy, I felt she was open and honest. I didn't feel like she was trying to duck and dodge questions. I feel like she took the questions head on. She answered what she could, and everything that was asked, I felt she did answer. I don't feel like she went in a roundabout way. In regards to the other ladies, you know, Giselle, of course, she always gonna be shady. I thought her questioning was shady about the wig and all of that. I was curious about the smile, so I'm glad that, you know, that was brought up as well, because I was kind of wanting to know the story behind that. This was just a lot, you know. Regarding the newbies, like I said, Angel and Kay, they could have been without this scene. Giselle and Ashley being the OGs and still holding the show together, those two were the least people that I thought would last the longest, Diva. I didn't see it happening, in my opinion. But they made it. Here they are. So that was that opening scene. Anything you would like to share?
Well, yeah, I appreciated the opening scene, right? Because they did a throwback of how this whole thing really started. But Giselle is forever throwing shade because he said it was a mom group between you. What's it? Cherise. So she said not Cherise. I said, you know what, Giselle, you can't never just let something be. But she was like, not Cherise, okay? So that was just so messy. And you know, y'all had to remind me, hey, Marcella, nice to see you, boo. Y'all had to remind me that, you know, Ashley was there from the beginning. I that's how
I didn't know that either. Like,
you know how Ashley flew under the radar is because Robin was so lacking at her job. The focus was on Robin, so that we didn't even realize that Ashley wasn't doing
nothing.
But you know what? She did have a storyline when she was married. Because remember, her and the man was always getting into it. Was the divorce? Was this? So that's how she kind of flew under the radar, right? But you know, it is what it is with that. So, you know, and they said, and she said how Karen's been watching and texting Giselle. So I thought that was all cute. Angel, I don't know the time lag between when the show ends filming and when they actually go to do the reunion. But Angel, to me, had some time to gather her thoughts and get herself together. She still looked like a whole fool on that stage. Okay. She was like, I had some expectations and this and that. I had a rough season, but whatever. I was like, Angel. Kay, she's another one. Whatever. Stacey said she had a rough season, but she had a good time getting closer to Wendy. And Kay act like all is well. And I'm like, Kay, get your life together. And Angel, get your life together too, okay? And Angel, we're gonna find it. Angel said, yeah, she got a house in Potomac, but whatever. We'll get to that because I thought that was a scene. The whole Wendy moment, I appreciated it. I promise you this. I couldn't be holding up as strongly as Wendy, knowing that I'm in a situation where the consequences could be that I might end up in jail. So on that note, I gave Wendy a whole lot of credit for even being on that stage. Okay. So I gave Wendy a whole lot of grace just because of that simple thing, right? She's saying her whole period and time period on Potomac has been empowering to her. She talked about as much as she could with the situation. She said, all I can say is the investigation is ongoing. She handled that well. I don't know if she talked to the lawyers before she came, if she had a consultant, but she handled it well. All she said was the stuff we already know. She said, all I can say is the investigation is ongoing. I had some court appearances, okay? But her little daughter Cam didn't know about anything. She wasn't aware. She said Carter knew because that night that he had to stay at Auntie and Grandma's, he did a simple Google search and saw that his parents was arrested, okay? And he went to sleep on that and didn't even tell his mom and his sister. And then, when the next day when Carter asked her, she said, we both cried in Eddie's car. And she always promised the kids she going to tell them the truth. And she said that, what, ever since that moment, every time they had to go to court, she just, she just told them we about to go to court or whatever. And, when Giselle asked her that shady question about the wig, I thought it was real, real messy. And she said, I got to smile through the pain. And you know what? And she said, God got me. You know what? What's interesting to me, Royaire, and I'm not trying to everybody listen, believe in your faith, right? But everybody want to talk about God after they done did all the bad stuff. You didn't think to yourself to maybe pray before all of that? Like, God, should I lie on this insurance form? Even though you ain't think about none of that, right? So, so the people kill me, a God got me and this and that. God can have you, but you can still end up going to jail. So, I just encourage people, if that is your belief and you do believe in the higher power, why don't you pray before you do some craziness in the situation? That's why I tell people my truth, Royaire, hoping I can help somebody else. I tell the people the truth. Diva in the townhouse over here with 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. I got a parking space. I don't even have a driveway. Okay. I'm driving the Hyundai that takes regular gas. I carry
regular, okay.
I carry Coach bags, Kate Spade, because that's in my wheelhouse. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on down, yes.
Listen, people, I shop at Macy's, Walmart, Target. I'm high end, low end. Some stuff I have that on, it may cost $2, and other stuff might cost $50 or $100. But I'm able to afford it. You understand what I'm saying? I get the lip gloss from the dollar store.
This ain't Fenty Beauty over here, baby, okay?
Listen, Royaire, this juicy melon. Just juicy melon. Oh my God. Listen. Listen, okay? I'm just trying to tell you. Live within your means. And I ain't mad at you if you can afford the Fendi, the Gucci, and all. I ain't mad at you. I'm still fighting my way up to that level. But all I'm saying is no shame in your game. Stop playing yourself out. You fronting and stunting, and now you got 16 felonies on your back. 16. And every time I hear that double-digit number, it make me nervous.
Ooh, girl, made me think about that double wide trailer they should have been standing.
So yeah, we talk about she nervous and all this and all of that. Yeah, well, you should be nervous.
Definitely.
Because honey, I already know. And then you pay all this money to lawyers. I already know they gonna come for your neck. And the sad part about it is, Royaire, you know, they got the emails and they got them on tape. I'm praying for them though. Sending prayers.
Send it. Come on, Karen. Look, come on, Karen. Come on, Karen.
Oh God, why do I fool with you, Royaire? I cannot.
All right, so we're gonna jump into our next scene, which is all about Miss Stacey. Okay, so we get a montage of Stacey, a little package. After that package, we go directly into the questions with Stacey. So Andy loves Stacey, and Diva, when Andy loves somebody, he loves them. Okay,
yes, he does.
Listen. And he said he loves Stacey and her QVC videos. They are truly a pleasure to watch. Stacey made the Vanity Fair Best Performance of 2025. She said she was humbled and grateful.
Stacey ate that up.
I'm just so humbled and grateful. It just humbles me. I said, come on, Stacey. Come on, Pat dinner. Is Stacey a performance? Stacey feels that she's always the same person. Tia says that Stacey's voice is different depending on where she is and who she's talking to. Stacey feels that, Tia speaks differently as well. Tia said that she was on an airplane, sitting behind Stacey, and she didn't even know that it was Stacey until she got up because the voice completely changed, okay? And so Stacey said, well, your husband is from Chicago, and you're the queen of a what is it called? Of a I'm sorry. What is it when you speak a different language?
I know what I can't think
what I'm saying. People know what we're saying. Yeah, so she was saying that, she's the queen of having her own, little slang ways to words or whatever. And she said this, Tia talks differently too. Andy questioned Stacey about paying TJ to be on the show, which was the contingency from last season, that kind of flowed into this season. She still denies paying TJ. She says she stands in her truth and she stands on business. TJ has met Timu, and TJ was not the reason that Stacey filed for divorce. So that was completely out the window. Accent. Thank y'all very much. Stacey was questioned about why Timu was not at the dinner date with Wendy, and all that situation. Stacey said that she did not feel, comfortable going to the double date, especially last season with the way that Wendy and Eddie ambushed her, in regards to the whole Timu situation, the setup. And then also, she felt that Tia was not genuinely trying to get to know her. Tia felt that Stacey should have owned up to, quote not wanting to come to the dinner due to what Wendy and Eddie did versus saying that he was going to be out of town and wasn't going to be back in town and all of this stuff. Stacey didn't feel Tia came to meet her family. She felt that she came to get information to report back to her master, Giselle, okay? And so that was another reason why Stacey did not feel comfortable bringing Timu and going on the double date, because she felt that Tia had alternative motives. Giselle said, well, you report back to your master, Wendy. And Wendy said she ain't nobody's master, okay? Now, Diva, this whole master thing, I didn't like that at all. I was like, well, Stacey, you doing too much. You putting 20 on 15, and it's too much, honey. It's way too much. Let's see. Tia was uncomfortable because she heard that Stacey went back and repeated, the information that Monique shared about Chris. And she just did not like that Stacey did that. She was already trying to build a rapport with Stacey. She had already heard that Stacey was always lying about things and being dishonest. But Tia claims that she came into the group, and she said this earlier this season, giving Stacey a clean slate. But, the whole situation with the going back and repeating information to Chris, and then the whole situation of lying, saying, that she didn't want, or that Timu wasn't going to be in town. The real situation was she didn't want Eddie and Wendy to meet because of the situation that had happened, because Timu wasn't over it. It was just like a whole compilation of a bunch of issues that these two girls really have. Now, here was my issue with this, Diva, before I move on. I can't validate Tia's issue in regards to the Chris Samuel, Monique Samuel situation, because that was not ever validated to us as valid factual information, that Stacey was the one to go back and repeat that information. So I didn't agree with Tia on that portion, but with the portion about showing up to the double date and everything, I seen where she was coming from. Now, Andy did ask Stacey, did she regret picking Tia out of her event? Toodaloo. And she said no, she didn't. Okay, she did not regret it at all. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else happened. Also, Andy asked, about Stacey lying in regards to this cannabis line. Now, Stacey still stands by that she did not have a line nor a deal when she was asked about the questions. She was in talks of that, and she said she was in talks of many businesses. But as she said earlier this season, you don't talk about anything until it's official, until it's signed on the dotted line. So she stood by that. Wendy felt that Stacey naming her line a Nigerian name was a way for her to get back at Eddie and Wendy for the TJ situation from last season. And then the ladies feel that Stacey plays victim all the time. And she never takes accountability for the lies and the things that she says. But Stacey says she just needs to continue to show up being herself and making her voice known and heard.
Listen, I was here for every minute, literally, of the Stacey show. Okay. I was here for every single minute. Okay. Yeah. When Andy gave her, kudos for the Vanity Fair Best Performance of 2025. Yeah. Listen, I never watched Traders, but she probably would be.
She would be excellent.
I'll tell you this.
Excellent.
Stacey would be excellent wherever she go. Stacey knows how to roll with the punches.
Yes.
Stacey knows how to deal with when you get caught in a lie. You just be like, whatever.
You roll with it.
Push it, okay? No, Stacey is that girl. Vanity Fair got it right. They gave her Performance of 2025, and they got it right. And she was here for it. She took it. Okay. So, and when they try to all say, yeah, because you're doing a performance, because Andy asked about her QVC videos. She's like, well, yeah, you saw me on QVC, and that's how I am now. Okay. So that proves to y'all that I am who I am, and I'm not doing no performance for this show, because what y'all saw there is what y'all get in here. That's what Stacey was trying to tell the people. Okay. So they wasn't happy about her performance. Giselle gave her fake accolades, but it was fake. But Anyway, because she really mad because your girl's been doing this for years. They ain't never give y'all no performance of the award, but girlfriend got it. So you know what? Y'all know I like Stacey. I'm here for Stacey. Kudos to Stacey. And hey to your award, right? And let's be clear. Let's be clear. They all lie. They all lie. We can run down the lies of all of them.
Did you notice this?
What?
Paige says, what about Stacey saying she filed for divorce, but production showed that Timu filed?
Well, he did because his name was first as the plaintiff. But
okay.
see,
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I noticed it because when they asked her, she said I did, and then production showed because production shaped. But here's the thing, though. We already know that Stacey lies.
Mm-hmm.
We know that. But let's be clear. They all lie. Whether you telling the truth, omitting some truth, they all lie. Giselle lied with that season when she brought Jamal Bryan back and saying they was dating. Even her father was, when he was still, God rest his soul. Okay? Ashley lies because she knew her husband was running around that set touching booties.
Not a pledge allegiance to the lies.
Okay. Hey, pledge allegiance to the lie. But let's be clear. Like I said, they all lie. Angel lied because you know you wasn't living in Potomac, and we still have yet to see the house you bought in Potomac. You came to Potomac to be on the show. Lies. Kiara lies because you know Greg don't really want you. Okay? Let's be clear here. Tia lies because we're going to find out that something is amiss with her husband. Okay, but you want to act like all is well. We're about to find out. So lies. Giselle lies. Okay, she apparently is dating somebody, but this time she don't want to bring the date on the show, so she's acting like nothing, right? So it's lies. Wendy, we already know. Let's be clear, like or not, lies. Because this whole time, apparently, you buy the cute outfits and then you take it back and then you claim you had a robbery and it was stolen. So when we want to get outraged, it's selective outrage when we want to talk about, oh, Stacey lies. Okay, and who on there doesn't, right? So now let's go to the whole TJ. Do you know Stacey did a good recovery with that? She said, your girls not support me when y'all had men on here that did your dirty. She said, Giselle, you think you would think that y'all would support me. Okay? Because she told Ashley and Giselle, y'all know what it's like. She did, you know, she always doing, you know what Stacey does? She does the reverse Uno. Just like when they asked her about the cannabis business. That was a reverse Uno, her answer. Because she said, she was like, well, at the time I was talking a lot of deals.
The man who humiliated you. You better come to evaluate with the exact word.
You better come with the exact words. Listen, did she not kill it though? I said this chick is killing it. This chick is killing it. The man who humiliated you.
Oh my God.
No, that whole scene, Stacey killed it. She killed it, okay? So listen, yes, I love Stacey. She gets stuff. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And I was here for every single moment of it. Holla at your girl Stacey, because she know how to play this game, and you ain't never going to see her sweat. Period. But never. She is a liar. She was like, I filed. No, Timo filed. And then Andy talk about, was TJ the reason why y'all broke up? Did he meet TJ?
Reckless lives of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Come through. Come on, title.
Reckless. But you know what? Respectfully, at least Stacey lies they ain't gonna land her in jail. It ain't gonna get her a mugshot.
About her best friend. Her best friend is on the way to jail, so she.
Yeah, that part. That part.
Yes, I mean, like you said, Diva, from beginning to end, Stacey held her own. She stood on business. She didn't back down. You know, I mean, she just stood in it. Even when it came to her and Tia, she got Tia. You know, Tia came for her. She came back for Tia. I mean, anytime somebody reeled it out to her, she threw it right back.
Not so, Tia, you came on here so you could just get stuff to report back to your master.
I said, "Now, Stacey, we're going a little too far now."
Oh my God, Tia was like, "What?" Like, child, I was here for the Stacey show.
It was a good segment.
She gave a show. But you know what, Emmanuel? Thank you for those words. The oh my God. Oh my God.
The men who have humiliated you.
Oh my God. Oh. Ooh, child, Stacey killed it. Ooh, I love
that. Was everything. I truly enjoyed that whole scene, you know. And she stood on business, and she said she gonna keep on being herself. And fingers crossed, I'll be back for another season.
Now, you know why she did that, Royaire? Because she already knows she slayed that season, and that thing. Oh my God. Honey, Stacey is one of a kind, baby.
Hilarious. Okay.
She's like, yeah, hopefully. Toodaloo. Oh my God.
And she told Andy, "No, I do not regret putting Tia out of my."
So there will be no apologies. No, I'm not. She's like, "No, I don't."
Oh my God. Okay.
Ooh, child. Oh God, Stacey.
Okay.
Stacey.
So that was Stacey's package, her moment, which was super good. I totally enjoy it. Diva, y'all see Giselle's face when Stacey said that. She was in shock because she wasn't ready for Stacey with that comeback, okay?
Oh God. But you know what though? Shame on them for not knowing don't play with Stacey. They thought they was gonna back her in the corner, especially with the cannabis business. She was like, I had a lot of deals. At the time you asked me, I didn't know. And then when they said when he asked Wendy about the name, she definitely gets I was sorry for that.
Sure.
When he asked Wendy about the name, and she said, "Yeah, I think she did that to get back at us." And Stacey was just sitting there like, hopefully. Oh my God. Oh my God, come on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I gotta get tissue. My eyes are filled with tears, but go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay. So now, okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay.
Royaire.
Look, and it was her and Wendy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I said, these ladies are fools. I love it.
All right.
Okay, so now on to the boring life of Angel. Okay. This was probably the worst package in Bravo history, Diva. I mean, I was just like, what what a recap of a season for Angel. But so, after we get Angel's package, Andy goes right into questions. Angel is back and forth from Colorado and Potomac. They did buy their home in Potomac, and they are working on renovations now. So Diva, I didn't know if I can really believe this, because normally when something does come to fruition, we at least get a picture on the screen showing us the purchase house, showing us some kind of renovation, something, showing us that something is going on. We went back for filming for Wendy, so we could have went back to see what this, or you could have brought pictures or a contract or something,
That's why I told you they all lie. They all lie.
Okay. Angel shares that Tia did not help seal the deal for her house that she bought. Tia states that she did not come looking for clients. She already has those. She came looking for friends. Giselle said... Well, Angel did not come to look for friends. Angel felt that Giselle, Wendy, and Ashley were always having meetups to talk about her, especially after the whole eviction situation happened. She never felt that she was solidified in the group because it was a consistent back and forth. I'm in the group, I'm not in the group. The girls like me, they don't like me. So she just never felt secure in being in the group. Now, in my opinion, you should never go into a group looking for somebody else to solidify you. You should come willing and being yourself. And who like you, and who don't. I think a lot of her problem, Diva, in my opinion, is that she came into this show trying to be besties with Giselle. And then when Giselle threw that catfish comment at you and cut you deep, and then all of a sudden, now I'm not cool, you had a big issue. And another reason I say that is, which we're going to get to in just a moment as well, because as Wendy said, you was dead set on accusing me of saying the catfish comment after people stood in your face and told you that I did not say that. Giselle said it. You were still dead set on it. So you came with a vendetta, and I don't like it. It just wasn't it. It wasn't cool at all.
Facts. That was facts.
I was like, what? Like, girl. So, let's see. Wendy wanted to know when Angel was gonna, be mad, at Tia for going back and sharing the eviction with Giselle. She had all this smoke for everybody. Had all of this smoke for Wendy all season, but the people that was doing stuff to you, aka your best friend, aka Giselle, aka Tia, you didn't have nothing for none of these ladies. Angel did say that Tia talked to her and apologized for, sharing that information with Giselle, and she said that she was wrong. And, Angel said that I told Tia she was out of pocket. If I wanted Giselle to know that information, I would have told her. Tia also apologized again on the couch, which I was like, Tia, like, you a punk. Now, I've been rooting for you all season. Now you want to turn around and apologize? If you told it, you told it. Stand on business and say, yeah, I did it. And what? What you gonna do about it? Like, the back and forth, I was like, okay, Tia, you doing too much. Bobby was voted the hottest husband on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Andy asked did the other ladies agree. Wendy said her husband is the hottest husband, okay? And Stacey said she likes white chocolate, okay? I was like, Stacey is a fool.
Hey, people.
Angel's chin check moment was brought up by Andy. Of course, Angel said she thought about the moment, after the conversation, and she decided that it just wasn't worth carrying on a conversation about it and carrying it through the season. So she decided to let it go. Kay then decided to cut Angel off because Angel was explaining to Wendy, regarding the situation, why she felt the way she did. But Kay said, I need to speak for a moment. Wendy and Kay went back and forth for a second because Wendy said Angel was having a conversation. This supposed to be your best friend. How you just gonna cut her off so that you can say what you want to say? What kind of relationship is this? Okay.
That was wild. That was wild.
It was crazy. I was like, what are we doing?
Wow.
This is supposed to be your best friend of almost 20 years that y'all talking about?
I'm talking.
What?
That was wild.
Nasty work.
Yeah, nasty work.
The only reason she cut her off was to apologize. You could have saved that apology for another day, honey. We don't care.
Or wait till your girlfriend is talking.
Angel did say, see where Wendy was coming from, and she understood what Wendy was saying. So Wendy did thank her for taking accountability for that. Andy questioned Giselle about the catfish comment. Giselle said, well, the blogs posted about the new wives or the new, castmates who were coming. Giselle questioned production about when she was going to meet this girl, and production said, stop playing. That's Angel. So, Giselle is still sticking to her story that she didn't know that was Angel in the pictures. That's why she said it. She said that her and, Angel had a conversation about it when she realized she was hurt about it. It was a good conversation. She apologized. They moved on. But Angel was the one that wanted to keep carrying it out through the season. In which I disagree. Y'all brought up the catfish comment yet again at Potomac and Ponies when Ashley brought catfish. Y'all would say catfish, I want to say it was said on the girls' trip at one point in time. Like, it just kept coming up. And then that was a very insulting thing to say about her, in my opinion. Especially what she mentioned that she struggled with, body dysmorphia and feeling certain ways about herself and in her industry. Angel and Giselle, Angel said that Giselle was being a mean girl. She felt like she was hazing her, and she felt that it was cruel. Wendy didn't like all the energy that Angel was giving her regarding the catfish conversation, which we addressed a little bit a minute ago. Giselle said, I was the one that said it. Angel said, thank you. Or Wendy said, thank you, because Wendy wanted to get that heat off of her, especially for something she didn't say. She laughed at it. She did not say it, but instead of you taking the heat on Giselle, who actually made the comment, you decided to take it to Wendy, who laughed at the comment. And everybody at the table made some kind of expression about it. Ashley laughed about it. Jazzy made a little face about it. Like, everybody did. But you didn't have no smoke for nobody but Wendy. Out of pocket and out of line. It was giving that you didn't want to confront any of the girls that you knew had quote unquote real power on this show, and you didn't want to check your bestie, so you came from those that you considered the least of these. And that's why you ended up on the couch, the end of the couch where you ended, because the very person who would have had your back, Wendy, you didn't even give a chance to. Giselle wasn't going to never have your back. She already solidified to her people, and she did not like you. But you went in there trying to be under her wing, quote unquote, big sister, as Wendy told us. And you got slapped in the face by your big sister.
Got chin check.
Chin check.
By big sis.
Angel did apologize, to Wendy, in regards to that as well. And then she also did give Wendy apology as well for the Forest Whitaker eyes in the butthole comment that she made in her confessionals as well, And Wendy said she thought that it was rude for Angel to say that, especially when she already talked about, people talking about her looks and things like that. How you gonna talk about somebody else's looks, but then talk about people talking about your looks, but then talk about somebody else, when it comes to their looks? Girl, grow up, do better. Yes. And then want to say that that's not like me. That's not in my character. Obviously it is, because you did it. I just feel like Angel made a bunch of excuses throughout the whole season, as she did on the show. You came to the reunion and did the same thing, and you still haven't shown us anything. This was your opportunity to get these girls together, to stand on business. You didn't do any of that. You apologized to everybody in the room pretty much, and still let your best friend chick check you by cutting you off while you were trying to make a point that you had.
Kay is nasty and rude to Angel. Mm-hmm. And they've been friends for over 20 plus years or whatever they said. But I really feel that, Kay is very nasty and rude to Angel. And Angel needs to look into that. Angel's whole package was a waste of our time. I will say this. She's claiming that, she's making renovations on the home that they bought in Potomac. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I doubt I want to see the home. And then I think didn't Ashley said something to her, right? She asked about the acres
situation. And she said the catfish situation, and she was like, well, you need to learn how to laugh a little bit. It was just a joke. That's what Ashley was kind of.
But what I was gonna say was that Ashley, no, it's okay. When Ashley asked her how many acres, and she said it was a certain amount of acres, And she told Ashley, well, you wouldn't know because you don't even live in Potomac. I said, ooh, okay, check that. Okay. So, and she's like, oh, because I didn't want to. No, you couldn't afford to live in Potomac, girl. Why don't you stop? And that's what I mean by they all lie. Like they all lie. I think what they really mad about Stacey is Stacey's very slick with her lies, and you ain't never gonna push her or tack her down to a lie because she's just smooth with it, right? So the whole catfish thing with Angel, I think Wendy definitely clocked that too. She clocked it in a sense that once you found out, because several people told Angel, and Giselle told Angel herself that I'm the one that said catfish, and Angel was still jonesing for Wendy. And that whole thing about Wendy with the whatever eyes and her thing turned up and her saying that's not me. No, that is you, Angel. And you the whole season you was mad at what they was doing to you, but you did the same thing, but only to Wendy. You never checked Tia. You never checked Giselle. You never checked Angel. You was just nasty to Wendy. And I think it was very unfair. And I think that butthole lips and Forrest Whitaker eyes. Thank you, Stephanie. I thought it was nasty work. And like Wendy said, if I would have said, and Angel was talking about, well, I would have just took it, but you didn't take when they said you was catfishing because you altered your face. Girl, you sound stupid. Because it's no different. So Bobby being the hottest husband, Angel didn't say it, the viewers did. So I'm just like, I hate when the people do the pitting against each other. I think there are only two people that got a husband is Angel and Wendy, right? Because nobody else because Stacey don't even technically have a husband now. Tia, right? But we never kind of really saw Tia's husband to me in a good light. She has a good looking husband too, but you never really got to see Tia's husband in a good light because the way Tia portrayed him, right? So, but I think all the husbands are good looking and they match their mates, so to speak, if that makes sense to everybody. When they asked Andy what type of chocolate he liked, I thought that was pretty funny. He said he said he liked dark chocolate.
The berry, the sweeter the juice, baby. That's what he said. I said, okay, Andy.
Andy loved to talk about his relationships.
You need him in a roundaway, boy.
Andy's a piece of work, but I thought it was very cute.
I want to ask about this, Diva. Stephanie said Kiana did cut off Angel. I think Kiana was jealous of all the attention that Angel was getting. What do you think about that?
I just think Kay is a nasty friend. And I wouldn't want a friend like that. My friends that I got for 20 years plus, first of all, I would never talk to my friends like that. Right. I would never, like, if we're on the couch, I'd be like, no, go ahead, Roy, and say what you gotta say. The only way I would jump in is somebody was trying to comfort you, then I would tell them to shut up. I would tell them toodaloo, okay? I would tell them that. But the way she cut off Angel, I thought it, like you said, it was nasty work. Angel was very nasty towards Wendy. Very nasty. Very nasty. I don't know. Stacey could be robotic. I love her. I love Stacey. But I just, that whole scene, even the whole cast on the couch was like, I think Wendy said, what type of relationship is that?
Everybody was just disgusted because, like, what? You just completely like, well, hold on, let me say that. Like, girl, this is not your time to talk. Like,
and Wendy kept saying, no, talk, Angel, talk. And Angel
and she let her bestie chin check her again.
I don't like Kay. I really she could be off the show and I'm not gonna miss her. Aesthetically, she's a beautiful girl, but inside she's nasty work. She's nasty work. You talking to your friend, your friend had a rough season, and it's her little time to talk. And you're not going to let her talk. I already apologized to Angel for that. No, let Angel get out what she got to say. I don't like Kay. I thought that was nasty.
I thought it was very nasty, very rude, you know, and especially after you already know your friend has had a rough season, this being your second season, for you to then turn around and just like, again, kind of talk about her and kind of mistreat her as your friend. Like, it now gives the rest of the ladies permission. This is why Angel was treated the way she was all season, because her own bestie came up here and chin checked her for everybody to see in front of them. Like, So, yeah, you know, best wishes to Angel and Bobby. Don't care to see them back. I don't feel like she brought anything yet again to try to help her, you know, throughout this season. I mean, it was lackluster. It was a bunch of crying, just sadness, just boring, you know. One of the comments were about, you know, the two boring sisters, Angel and Kay. Like, y'all
they called them madness and sadness. Yo, the viewers be cutting a fool.
I was like, come on, madness
and sadness.
So we arrived to our final scene of the night, Diva. So, you know, as we kind of spent off of that, Ashley and Angel had kind of got into it, because Angel was saying that, you know, Ashley was just rude and nasty in regards to the comments of the catfish situation. And so Andy brought up that he had a lot of, you know, comments and a stack of cards in regards to Ashley and her nasty behavior this season. You know, she was a mean girl pretty much. Ashley was questioned about her meanness. Ashley made a comment about Wendy being locked up, and she said, you know, she was smiling at her mugshot and she did not know that it was as severe of a situation that it was. And so, you know, Wendy said, regardless of not whether or not you knew it was severe or not, I would believe you. But she got information basically saying that Ashley had a personal vendetta against Wendy. And so she was looking for an opportunity to say something nasty and rude about her. Ashley felt that Wendy came into the group, you know, and was looking down on everyone, talking about her 4 degrees and nobody else has any other accomplishments. Wendy said, well, I'm sorry that you don't have any accomplishments under your belt. Ashley said, well, I do have one social security number and I do have accomplishments. And so that ended us off on this part 1 of the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion uncensored, Diva. Whew. What an episode. What an episode.
That took me off the... Listen, I fell off my bed.
I said, not one social security number. I said, oh!
I was like, So first of all, see, that's what I mean. Like, Ashley, when Stacey told them off, Stacey never said a curse word. Ashley got mad and irate when she said, you ain't got no accomplishments to talk about. And she was like, FUB and all of that, but I got one social security number. Listen, that thing was crazy. She did apologize to Wendy about the Zen Wen. They said now y'all know, I always stick to what I call my truth. They talked about how when Wendy first came on the show, she looked down on everybody. Wendy did come in the show with this 4 degrees, same way that Monique came in the show with her 4 houses and all this other stuff and whatever the case may be. So Wendy did have a certain air about her when she started the show. And then she kind of leveled off a little bit, right? And now she has leveled all the way down because of what is going on with her right now, right? But I don't like Ashley and her jokes. And like Wendy said, she may have told jokes about people, but she never joked. She said she was the only one that didn't tell any jokes when Karen was going to jail, right? But honey, when she said that one social security number, now you ain't got to do that because y'all know the people is watching.
Raheem said he dropped the damn remote.
I fell off the bed because I said, girl, you know the police and everything is still watching. Because remember, they took pictures from her social media with the ring on her finger when they said the ring was stolen. They watching the reunion. Why are you doing this? That's why when Karen comes out, she told Wendy to shut the F up.
You're doing too much, Wendy. Sit down, shut up, and learn, okay?
Now they're going to look and see if she used the kid's social security number or something like that. I said, now, Ashley, you ain't had to do that.
Dirty. Low down and dirty.
Low down, dirty. You said low. Who said it was a, what did they say? Low down, dirty individual?
Low down, dirty individual. You are a low down and dirty individual.
So, that took me out. I was done. And I said, they definitely get an A+ for reunion part 1.
A+. Well, since we are here, Diva, at the end of every recap, we like to get each of your thoughts and opinions on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Let us know down in the comment section what your rating is for this episode, part 1, episode 18, season 10 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Diva, you said an A, and I'm giving it an A. It is a 10, 10, 10 across the board. From start to finish, there was not a dull moment. There were no questions that weren't answered that I didn't want to know about. All of the ladies showed up. The ladies showed out, and they did what they could. I think that Angel gave us what she regularly has given us this season, mediocreness. And that's what it was. Stacey came in and she brought 10s across the board. Stacey is going to be Stacey no matter what. And that's when I can appreciate, at least when she shows up in the building, I know she's going to do exactly what I know she's going to do. Lie and be cute at doing it. Okay. Cute and confident while doing it.
Do you remember Andy asked her, he said, sometimes when a housewife get gassed up by the fans,
yes,
or something like that. She said, never, Andy.
I'm going to be good. I said, come on, Stacey.
I give this a 10. 10 across the board. Like you said, Stacey showed up and showed out. Okay? She don't know nothing about no cannabis business until it happened.
Look, she is legally blind, okay?
She did not pay TJ. And she filed for divorce from Timo, even though he was the plaintiff. But anyway.
Toodaloo on that, okay?
Boom, okay? Ashley gave us what she always gives us, nothing. Kay chin checked her friend yet again, her friend of 20 years. I won't want to be friends with that girl if you paid me, okay? Never. Angel had a bunch of nothing. Okay, the house in Potomac that we want to see the paperwork on, and the same people that designed our home in Colorado, they're doing our one in Potomac. We're doing renovations right now. You should be filming these renovations. Okay. Tia gave us nothing. I already apologized to Angel, and she tried to come at Stacey. Tia, you lost me from the moment you showed up on the Real Housewives of Potomac.
What about her sister that came to take the picture at the house? Dang.
Giselle was typical Giselle. Okay. And Wendy helped this thing be 10s across the board. She did. Because she showed up. Wendy, for me, Royaire, Wendy has got to do nothing else at this reunion. The fact that she has showed up is everything. I'm good. So definitely 10 for me.
10. Okay. Well, Jeremy is giving it a 10. Diane is giving it a 10. 2 is giving it a 7.5. Okay, too fine.
Too fine. No, well, hold on. Too fine. I love you, but you got to go back and watch that reunion again.
You got to watch it on, girl, because
you got to watch what reunion part 1 again, and you can do it with your one eye. Do with that eye right there. You got to see it again, girlfriend. Because no, this deserves higher than a 7.5. She said Kay ruined it for her. Don't worry about Kay. Kay is a bad friend.
Yeah, horrible. Yeah,
bad friend. Okay.
Stay at home mom is giving it an 8. Lakeisha is giving
stay at home mom. You know I don't never complain about no scores now, Royaire, but y'all better score this thing again.
Y'all better do better because this was a 10. Okay, 10. Okay. Lakeisha said 10, 10s across the board, period. Raheem said this was a 10, okay?
Listen. Even the lies were a 10. Even the lies were
Melody said this was a 10. Aya 50 Gold said 10, beginning to end. Yes. Okay. Yes. Tanya is giving it a 10. Minnie is giving it a 9. Monique is giving it an 8. Okay. Will Game is giving it a 9. Okay. Little English Rose said a 10.
Okay.
Katira is giving it a 9. Let's see. Is that all? I Am Leo is giving it a 10. Ocean Dreaming is giving it a 9.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, Diva, overall, we got 10s and 9s across the board. I mean, the people, Paula is giving it a 10 plus. Come on, 10 plus. Come on, 10 plus, Paula. Yes. Yes.
And listen, and come on now, Stacey got that award. We ain't never hear no housewife getting an award.
No house from Vanity Fair. That's major.
That's major. Better up that grade.
Look, she said, fingers crossed.
That's arrogance, Royaire. Yo, Royaire, that's arrogance, right? Yeah. She knows she probably got the contract before she came to the reunion.
For me, it was the way that Wendy on the other side of the couch talking about.
They know she already got that contract.
They already know, okay?
Okay. They better stop. She was like,
girl, hilarious. Well, listen, everybody, that has been the end of our recap of part 1 reunion of the Real Housewives of Potomac season 10. We truly appreciate each and every one of you for joining us. If you did not hit the like button on the way in, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Next week, we will be recapping part 2's reunion, which I'm super excited to see that as well. So that will be next week, Sunday at 8 p.m. And then we'll recap that on Monday for part 2. Also, make sure you join us tomorrow for the Married to Medicine recap. Married to Medicine was another good episode. Super good, Diva. I was glued to the TV with that one as well. Bravo. Y'all doing y'all thing this year. The ladies are clocking in and doing their jobs, and we love and appreciate it. We made it through a girls' trip, Diva, so we'll talk about that on tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned to Trending Topics with Diva every night about 8. Well, we running a little late tonight, Diva.
We good.
So make sure you stay tuned to Diva's Trending Topics, probably to 9:30, maybe 9:30 around here. Make sure your notification bells are on all. That way you see each and every time we post a video with you in mind. Make sure you also subscribe to both of our channels, Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva and Royaire's World. Anything else before we get out of here?
When I had fun with y'all tonight. But yeah.
Toodaloo! Toodaloo!
Royale's world.